What is up? I'm your host, Gabby, and welcome to the Shit My Roommate Says podcast. Come vibe with my guests and I as we share our stories and open up about the taboo topics that roam around in most people's minds. All right, welcome back to the Shit My Roommate Says podcast. I'm your host, Gabby, and today we have with us the most fabulous woman I have met to date and had been able to work with as well. Let's give it up for Star, people. Hello there, ma'am.
Hello.
So you can understand with me when I say let's give it up. You hear that fake applause for you, right?
Like I was literally like in my head.
No, I can feel it. I'm like, that's why I'm like, you know what? I know I'm talking to millions out there.
Yeah.
It's a mindset.
Manifest, baby. Manifest.
Exactly. Manifest it. Speak it into existence.
That's right. We're claiming it.
Well, welcome to the show, ma'am. I know it is your first time here with me, and I am so happy to have you, especially for our topic today. And I know you are an avid, loyal listener of mine and supporter. So, we like to start it off with introducing yourself, telling us a little bit about you, and then how we met. So feel free to take it away, ma'am.
Well, hello, guys. My name is Star. I met the lovely hostess, Gabby, back in 2018. She gave me my first job after the military.
Get it, boo. Get it.
Oh my gosh, which didn't
like it was that hard.
Well,
I think I give it to you on the spot.
You did. Nailed the interview. So guys, if you want some interview tips, holla at your girl. Just kidding, don't do that. But yeah, I knew in that interview, I remember because there was just like a beer festival or something that had just happened. Yep. And you went and we were talking about it because I wanted to go, but I don't know why. I either got the dates wrong or something happened. I couldn't go. And I was like, okay, we're talking about beer in the interview. I like it. Like, this is my chick. I can vibe for her. Let's do this.
Exactly. And that's exactly what the podcast is about, dude. We vibed. We vibed on a level where I was like, I feel like I've known this girl my whole life here. I was like, this is an interview. I don't even know this stranger. I like her fucking hair. Does she really think she's going to get hired with gray hair? And I was like, what's show enough?
Right. Look,
my manager, you can do the
Carrie will take it, the civilian world. Come on.
Come on. You got to have some fun with it. I have had my fair share of having fun with my hair. I had green hair.
I love it.
Yeah, but it was because of like a chemical reaction because I didn't realize I was pregnant at the time. And we were trying to bleach it to have black with like blue. Yeah. And the blue kept turning green.
Yeah.
And a week later, I found out I was pregnant, and my best friend, OGM, she was like, "Well, that's probably what it was. You were the hormones. That is something." And I was like,
"You gotta love hormones. You gotta love it. You gotta love it."
And since we met, you have also added a roommate to your house.
I have my little baby girl.
Oh, she is so beautiful. Let's hear a little bit about the diva.
Thank you. She is exactly that. She might look like her daddy, but she acts like her mama. Okay?
If she's related to you at all, there is definite diva moments in there.
She is, seriously.
It's manifesting as we speak.
It really is. It doesn't take much. She just turned 6 months, so her personality is developing. She's coming more into herself and what she is going to be and how she's going to act. And she's at the point where she knows that she does her little she's going to get whatever it is she's in for. So that's fun. Like, it's fun. I just laugh. I'm just like, oh, here we go.
Bad girl jewelry to the T, dude.
Yeah.
She has chef. I always do this to chef because it's true. I do the little wrapping around the finger motion.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, she has you wrapped around the finger, dude. Because all it is, it's like, and it's like, what, my love, my baby. I'm like,
yeah.
You don't play
Yeah.
too much.
See, I thought because, my husband Chuck wanted a girl, right? So I thought because that's what he wanted, she was going to have him wrapped around her finger, and she does. But when I tell you she has me wrapped around her finger, I didn't see that coming because I'm so just like hardcore and just so like
Same.
tough love.
Same.
Putty in her
Same.
hands, man.
But I'm also the first person when he puts her in the room because she's done something or she's, acted out and she's in there for a quick timeout. I'm also the first person to try and go console her.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I'm trying to be like a bad bitch, like, nah, not my baby. I'm a mama cub. Like, my baby is crying.
Yes.
And he tells me, he's like, you're too soft. And I'm like, I'm a mom. I'm not soft.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Like,
hard.
I will fight you right now.
It's
But my baby's crying. I gotta go.
yeah.
Be right back.
I am hers.
Yeah.
I'm her.
And that's where anytime he does have to, crack out the whole Jewel,
Yeah.
it's always then like, Mama,
Yeah.
Daddy mean to me, Mama. And I'm like, come here, my love.
I don't know what is gonna happen in this household when that phase comes because we said in the past, I'm bad cop, he's good cop because we thought, he was gonna be the little softy and I would still be that hardcore laying down the rules. But as it stands right now, it's just kind of like, am I gonna be able to do that? I don't know.
It does take a team, and
Yeah.
I think we feel that way, like there should be a good cop and a bad cop because that's how we grew up, like there was with that mindset of a good cop and a bad cop. But as him, where's my mascot? Where's the yeah.
Trying to keep her at bay.
But it's like I was telling him, I lost my train of thought because my mascot came in and I got so
A
excited.
good cop and the bad cop. How we
yes. Okay. Thank you. That's what I know. You see, you still got me, boo.
I got you.
I got you. I tell him though, like we do have those moments where it's like, no, like we crutch off each other in a way, like we parent off of each other with that anchor. So it's like, hey, your dad already told you to do this. Hey, did you listen to mama? Mama said to clean your room. And I feel like we evolved from that like good cop, bad cops to tag team.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what? I can't handle it anymore. I'm out. Tag you're in. And oh my God, it has
made difference.
Yeah. It has made such a difference, man. And she knows because she tries to, bad girl jewelry will try and do things. And I'm like, girl, I'm just looking at her. I'm like, are you really?
You need to cut it.
and her thing is like, I'm trying to get her, like, I've instilled the fear with my eyes, but I'm trying to incorporate fingers so she senses that urgency.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll go, you have to the count of 3. And I'll go, 1. And my eyes. And I'm like, 2. And she goes, 3. I'm like, I want to laugh. I want to laugh, but I'm like, how's how we're gonna go? Then I'm like, yeah, but I want to laugh. And so I'm like, at the same time, I'm like, no respect.
The struggle.
The struggle. And it's a girl. Those are girls. We are moms of girls.
Yeah, we are.
God
bless us.
Help.
For real, SOS.
So Chuck wanted a girl. Did you want a girl or did you want a boy?
I wanted a boy first.
I wanted a boy. Agreed. Yeah. This is why I know it was great to have you on today. We just agree. I wanted a boy, and when I found out Jilly was a girl, I cried. It took Olive Garden to console me.
Me too. Literally. And I feel so bad, like at this point, saying that out loud, like, that I cried because absolutely I'm in love with her. But when I found out on a phone call, they called me and told me the results of the test or whatever. The Nippets test is what we did. And when she said that you're having a girl and hung up, Gabby, when I tell you, I knew it was a 50-50 chance, you know, boy, girl. I felt like she said, you're having an alien. Like, no lie, I got off the phone and I just started crying. I was like, what? Like, as if it wasn't a possibility, like, as if it wasn't a 50-50 chance. Like, in my heart, I knew I was having a boy, and she just told me I was having an alien, you know? It was
Is it
crazy.
because you've always felt closer to having like that guy mindset, not necessarily masculinity, but you've always just sided more so just being more tough than that
Yeah.
sensitive? See,
Yeah.
okay, that was my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got that, I was there. So that was how I kind of did my little small gender reveal. Was I had a few close friends, and then I was wanting to take the pictures because my mom was in the hospital. I wanted to take the pictures to my mom so that way she'd be able to kind of experience it.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were there, I just remember it was like, oh, well, there's 3 lines, which signifies like a hamburger, which means it's a girl. And I was just like, uh-huh. Like cried. And it wasn't because like I was sad that I wasn't getting my dream of my boy. It was like I'm barely understanding myself, and I'm
Girl.
25, 26 years old. I need to understand another female. I'm going to birth a female. Like, I will say this any given time of the day, women are stronger than men.
Oh, 100,000%. For sure.
And to know that I am going to push a baby out of me that I am going to raise to not necessarily be exactly like me. You know, I want her to be her own person, but nonetheless, I am pushing out a clone of me.
Yeah.
You know, like this girl was given all of my DNA, which means like you have me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm complicated. I am high maintenance. I'm fucking selfish. I'm greedy sometimes. Like, you know, like, I mean, I'm honest about it, but
Yes.
I'm going to have to raise another one of
Yes.
me?
Yes.
Fuck. Like,
Yes.
I was scared. I was scared.
Same. Same. I was just thinking, like, I remember being in the shower and just like all of these thoughts going through my head. And I was just like, you know, my relationship with my mom is so trash. You know, there's so many unresolved th- conversations that need to be had, you know, pain, trauma from just that experience. And I was like, now I'm about to have my own daughter. And
Yeah.
it was very just one
No.
of those things where I was like, you know, why?
There's
Why?
there's a lot of childhood memories I hold on to, and you know, some good, some bad, same as you. My mom's relationship and I hasn't always been the best. She has always been my village with bad girl jewelry, but
Mhm.
to us together, I mean, now as I've become an adult, like it's rocky sometimes, you know, it
Yeah.
is icy.
Yeah.
And I understand that.
Yeah.
And you know, the thing that got me with it was that I knew, and it because it comes down to the mindset. I was always given that energy of girls are tough to handle. Girls
Yeah.
are a lot, you know, like even growing up, even me growing up, like when I got my period for the first time, you know, like, whew, you know, viewers jump off if you're scared of periods. But when I got my period for the first time, my dad's mindset was like, oh, I got to be more protective. That's what he told my stepmom. You know,
Hmm.
like, I got to be more protective. You know, it's the mindset. It's like, it's the energy somebody gives off. Like, man, you gotta do so much more with a girl.
Yeah.
And I guess I allowed myself to believe it, you know, but now as I've been able to build my relationship with her as she's just turned 3,
Hmm.
I love my daughter.
Yes.
Like, I'm just like, how I recorded an episode recently, and it's like, how did I say it? I would be her human shield
Yeah.
in any case if she ever needed it. Like,
For fact.
even if like a kid was bullying her at the playground, like, buck up, kid, like, I'm gonna fuck you up right now.
For real.
You know, like,
For
I
real.
I am there as her everything. Like,
Yeah.
so I adapted my own energy with it. And I will admit, like, I feel like I was prepared wrong.
Yeah.
Because I was not, I was equipped to handle a boy because I know how to be tough. And I know how to set a boy up to be tough.
Yeah.
Still have feelings, but be tough. And now I have to raise a girl,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm glad. I'm glad I had a girl at the end of the day.
Same.
I would never change her.
Same.
If you see her, she's my firecracker. I call her my monster because she's probably one to every moment of her day. I'm like, if I'm just gonna call it out, she's my monster.
Yeah.
You know, but it was nice. It was refreshing, and I love the energy that I've been able to show and have with her.
Yeah.
Because it makes for a happy mindset, you know?
It sure does. It really does. And you're cultivating that life for her. And when she grows up and has her own children, and maybe she has a girl, she won't have a breakdown like we did.
Like we did. She won't need
Because,
Olive Garden.
yeah, she won't have a breakdown because she's not going to have any negative stigmas around it. And that is so important. Like, this is my little mini bestie. Like, thank you.
And
I'm
that's
so
exactly
glad that
what
I
she
have her.
is. Like, we have moments now where she's just like, Mama, don't leave. Like, she just
Yeah.
wants to cuddle and love on me all the time. Like,
Yeah.
even though she is a daddy's girl, she is for sure 1,000,000% mine.
Yeah.
Like, if Chef tries to even like my mama, she's like, no, my mama. And she'll fight you.
Yeah.
She will punch you.
Yeah. Don't play by her mama.
Not about her mama. And I love that. And you know, there's no better way to start off this topic.
Yeah.
I brought you in today because you taught me something. And as short of our time was together, you helped me become so intuitive with reading energies and vibes. And that is exactly what our topic is today.
Yes.
I could not have chosen a better person for this. I mean, how long would you say we worked together? What, like 6, 8 months, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah. 6, 7.
Yeah.
7,
I was
8.
going to say, like, I know it wasn't a year, but like, I was
No,
like,
less than 9 for sure. I was there for Halloween. I remember that. So,
yes. Okay. And then, you know, within that time, like we said before, we vibed on your interview.
yeah.
Like, I offered you your job on the spot because the chemistry, the energy that you exuded was just so, like, I knew on my most stressful days in that office that you were going to give me this energy, like, you got this. We're going to do this today. You might be stressed, but you got me, and I'm going to help you not be that much stressed.
Yeah. I did that, right?
You did every day, every day. And, you know, you saw my great days. You saw my bad days where people would just yell at me on the phone, and I had to be so calm with it.
Yeah.
You know, and you're just like, I don't know how you do it sometimes. I'm like,
I think I can never do.
alcohol.
That was
Strong
not my
liquor.
strong suit. That was your strong suit.
That's why I got paid what I got paid.
Yeah, exactly.
But you taught me so much. And you know, it was, I'm fond of it to this day because it's something I take with me everywhere I've gone now. But our talk, where I kind of feel like we both just had to kind of swallow that pride and just understand that we were both at each other's level. And I felt like there was that disconnect at first, but I felt that we were able to read each other so well and understand, like, we came from a place of like healing at that moment, you know. I love that about us. I don't, like I said, I don't think I could have chosen somebody more adequate for this topic.
Yeah, well, thank you. That's so sweet. But I mean, I feel like to be able to have a moment like that is very necessary. And unfortunately, pride and ego gets in the way of so many other people you know, you even being able to have that conversation with someone else, not maybe on your behalf, on their behalf, just because we can't get out of our own way sometimes, or we live on such a defensive, we're always on the defense. So anytime someone comes and has anything to say that we may not enjoy hearing or be prepared to hear, or may feel like we're getting sideswiped or whatever, we're so quick to react instead of just listening to what is being said, and you know, sensing, okay, is there any truth to this? Where is this coming from? And going from there and having, you know, an adult conversation that can be healing or just very necessary on both sides. We need more of that. We need more of those moments, and we need the ability, we need the tools and the skill set to be able to have those conversations, no matter how uncomfortable they are.
I love it. I was just like, hey, girl. And you know, and for the viewers, for those listening, a little bit of the backstory was like, we were kind of put in a situation where we were great with each other, but I do feel like outside parties were putting us against each other.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that. I felt outside energies kind of sensed that we worked well and caused strife, unnecessary strife.
Yeah.
Like that was where I felt with it, because I was like, once you and I were able to talk, like, and my thing is like, I'm such a non-confrontational person. I think that's what took me so long to talk to you.
I'm the same way though.
Because I knew I could feel that tension with you and I. And again, it's reading the energy of a room.
Yeah.
I'm like, you have two strong queens in here. I was like, and we cannot talk. We can't break bread right now.
Yeah.
Without there being that animosity. I was like, I hate this. This is not how I am. This is not, you know, the type of woman I am. I was like, this is not the type of boss, because at the end of the day, I was one of your bosses.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, this isn't the type of boss I am. This isn't me at all. I was like, and somebody, I know it sounds silly to say, but someone is slandering my energy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like somebody is creating this fake aroma, yeah, of this fake existence into this fake energy, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I talked to you, I was like, oh, like it was like a gulp of vinegar, because I was just like, I didn't do anything to you, but I know this talk needs to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And once we happened, it was just like fucking sun came shining through, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, there's always going to be so many different variables in any sort of a situation. And like you said, like I'm the same way. I'm non-confrontational. You know, I it's not something that I'm proud of, but I can be very passive aggressive.
Same.
I honestly feel like majority women are like this. There's like, you know, your scale, and you're either, I feel like for most women, we're either very passive aggressive because we try to be very non-confrontational. You have your few that are confrontational, but that's not majority. Or, you know, on the other end of that are the very like more timid women who really would not even show any aggression. And so when you're passive aggressive, you're hashtag petty, right? Like you're still being
petty,
like
AF.
like,
I am so petty, and I
yeah.
know a chef would agree with me.
Yes.
It doesn't happen. Try a bitch, okay? It is what it is.
And so, like, you know, without even trying, like, I'm the type of person where it's like, you know, I know in one of my old jobs, there was me and this girl, and we were in a customer base field, and they would call her voice and me face, because I cannot hide my thoughts. I think you actually did used to say that to me a couple of times when people would come in and I'd have to talk to someone, and I'd just be like, like my face explains my emotions.
I feel that's why we got along so well, was because I was the same way. Like,
yeah.
So you saw Final Boss, but you knew Pre-Boss.
Yeah.
And Pre-Boss would make a joke about my face. She's like, I'm going to put your face on a t-shirt. So that way you can see the face you make every time you hear something you don't like to hear. And I was just like, I know that's a bitch move of you. And
I remember that face though. I know the face.
I don't give a fuck though. Like, I'm not saying anything to you, am I? But you won't see it on my face.
Exactly. That's how I am. Like, I wear my thoughts and my emotions on this face. It gives me away. I don't even mean to. It's
But that
just
is where I've prided myself. And sometimes, you know, it doesn't work in my favor. I've always been an honest person because I'm not going to straight up lie to you because you're going to see it on my face.
Exactly.
Like, I can't lie in that aspect of like, you're going to see it on my face.
It's going to come out regardless.
And if I've ever felt a way about something, I need to talk about it. Hence, I talk to you.
Yeah.
You know, I still think that was one of the hardest talks I've ever had.
Wow.
Because you and I are so matched.
Yeah.
So just
I like to think that in any relationship of mine,
we were strained though.
Yes, but I like to think that like on someone else's perception of me is that like I try to stress communication being such like an important topic for me that sometimes I have difficulty communicating with others because I don't feel like they are capable of having a level-headed, non-emotional conversation and that we can just sit here and talk about things that are factual and opinion-based and actually get to a solution. So sometimes, you know, I end up prolonging a conversation that I really want to have with someone just for fear of how it's going to go wrong. And I mean, I'm pretty sure that's normal for most people that know like, okay, I need to have this conversation and I'm dreading this conversation because we are non-confrontational. Yes. But I like to think that people know, okay, I can come to her and talk to her about whatever because I know how she values communication, you know? And that's why like when we have a conversation, like it's able to go how it needs to go. Because you know me and you know what I value. Like we can sit here and talk about whatever we need to talk about. Let's do it. Like, let's go. Exactly. Because I'm ready for it. Like I'm here for it.
I saw your moments where if you felt strongly about something, you read that room and you just, is it weird to say like, I admire, like I took that little snip clip of you and I've like embedded it into like myself because I was like, I want that. Like, your energy that you surpassed at that moment, I was just like, nah, dude, like you felt like people were trying to come in on you and you just like stood your ground, anchored yourself and was like, this is where I'm at.
Yeah.
This is how
respectfully I'm here. Like
yes. And I don't think I have ever seen it done so classy. And I was just like, oh, I was sitting right next to you. And I'm sure you remember the conversation-ish or setting. And I just was like, in my head, I was like, this bitch did not. I was like, oh yeah, love it. It was the energy. It was the, how do I say it? What is the word? You were Queen Bey. Like, she is a vibe, you know, she is a, I listen to you, but I'm a, that's how you feel. This is, I understand that's how you feel. This is how it is though.
Yeah.
You know, but you did it with such eloquence.
Yeah. You know, I'm the type of person to sit back initially, like when I'm in a new surrounding or meeting new people, or if I'm with, you know, people I know and there's new people around. Anytime I'm around someone new, like I'm just the type of person to sit back and observe the company I'm with and see the type of people that they are. Because when you're quiet, you can tell a lot about the people in the room with you, right? And so you kind of like, it gives me, I don't want to say an advantage, but it does kind of give me an advantage to know how I need to handle myself in any situation because of the personalities that are in the room with me.
Exactly. You
And so,
are,
yeah.
you're a strong personality, not necessarily in the aspect of that you're loud and obnoxious, but you're a strong personality when it comes to the deep part of friendship. You know, I don't want to be here for your drunken kegers. I want to be here when you're having a mommy meltdown. I want to be here when you need a rant session, you
Yeah.
know. You have a maturity within your, I say soul, but it's your aura.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been known to be called an old soul, what can I say?
This is why I know that you and I are meant to just be friends, you know, forever and ever, because I say that I get told the same thing.
Yeah.
So when you're when you're out and about, like, what is your first thing you do with people? Like, so you say you're quiet, like,
Mm-hmm.
what do you read about people? Like, what are the things you look for? What is your flags?
Well, I mean, anytime you're in an environment, right, you always want to notice like there's always different personalities. So for one, I just want to say, like, I feel like as humans, probably since the beginning of time, but even more so in the world that we have created for ourselves, like there's a million masks that each of us wear. And we put a different mask on wherever we're going. And that's the character that we play. That's how I like to say. That's the character that we play. I myself, as a Pisces for one, a
A
Pisces for
true
one,
Pisces,
a
because
true Pisces.
my
And
mother
then
is a Pisces, and trust me, y'all both live up to it.
gladly, happily so proud to be a Pisces. We are the best. But like, and then just me being who I am, period. Like I'm an actress. Like I'm an actress in life. There's so many of my friends will have a different side of me. Like I'm not just one person. Like I am constantly adapting and changing
You're
and even just,
multidimensional.
yeah, and even in just my own life, I'm always growing, right? So I say that to say, when you're in a room, you might be, me, you, and X, Y, and Z, but we're only seeing what they want us to see. So it's your duty to take note of what they're showing you, because it is truly a part of them. I feel like you're always going to have someone who's an attention seeker. You're always going to have someone who's a little more shy, a little more quiet, be it that they're observing like me or that they're really just a more shy, laid back type of person. And then you're going to always have someone that's kind of like in the middle. They're really easygoing, easy to get along with, right? So when you walk into a new environment, you can always, depending on how in tune you try to be to situations around you, you can really get a good sense of the environment that you're in, whether it's, toxic or negative, or the vibe of if you're at a club or a library, like those are obvious, atmosphere and vibe type things, right? But when you're around a bunch of people, whether you're at like a little house party for someone, or you're throwing your own little house party and people bring people that you don't know and you're sensing people for the first time, it's just like, take a moment, sit back and observe the company that you're with, right? And just get a feel for them and watch how they interact with you, watch how they interact with others. And ask yourself, is this someone that you want to get to know, that you want to even, take the time to communicate with? I feel like we tend to force ourselves into relationships that don't serve us. And
Same.
you look down the road and you're just like, why am I hanging out with this person? Why am I dating this person? Why am I talking to this person? Right? Like, this might have just felt like something I had to do in the moment, or you're just being really friendly. I'm very good at being casually friendly, and that's about it. I have no desire to go any further than that, right? Because you have to be aware, like you're responsible for the energy that you send off into the world and the energy that you allow around you. Like that's your duty. You can't blame anyone else for the type of environment that you cultivate, because that's all you. And so sometimes I know, like, the way I say what I'm about to say can come off to other people as very just, I don't know, not right, but the right people will hear me and they will understand when I say this is your world. Your world. This is my world. We all are living in our own worlds in the world, right? Mm-hmm. So the air that I breathe, I want to breathe nice, clean air that makes my body feel good. You know what I'm saying?
You want to breathe in positive energy. You don't want to be surrounded by the negative.
So why would I entertain the company of someone that pollutes that energy, that pollutes my environment? I don't want that. And yes, you have to be very choosy about the company that you keep. And that goes for family. That's no one gets a pass on that. There are no exceptions. And the older I get, I just feel like it's even more important for me to make sure my little Pisces fish tank is clean at all times. Like, I don't have time for people just taking up space just to take up space.
COVID helped me to understand that the same thing. So we get along well. You're a Pisces. I'm a Taurus. So like I am the epitome of stubborn.
Yeah.
Bullheaded.
Yeah.
I want it my way. But at the same time, I'm very collected to where, okay, I'm going to hear you out. I'm going to listen to your side because I want to understand. As much as I am stubborn, I am understanding.
Yeah.
So I want to understand your side. I don't want to be in an argument with you. I'm stubborn because I'm going to hold my side of it because I truly believe in my side. And the only reason I believe in my side is because of knowledge, of prior experience, of being able to read people, you know, and the vibes that people let off.
Yeah.
And if at then, you know, I am the way I am with you, that is, it's, how do I say it? You choose how I react to you, you know, and when there have been instances where I've met people, I've even had instances where, you know, toxicity doesn't just range to friends or people. It could go to family, you know.
100%.
There have been moments where I tell my sister, who I am super close with.
Yes.
You know her. I talk about her all the time.
Yes.
Sister. And recently she has been a little down on her luck, and I want to be that support for her because of course that is my other lifeline.
Right.
But there was a moment where she was emotional. She just had a very tough day. She felt down. You know, the kicks kept on coming at that moment. And at that moment, she admitted defeat. And here I am trying to console her, but at the same time, I have allowed myself to heal so much that I don't allow other people's energies to offend or aggravate mine. You know what I mean?
100%.
So while we were talking, I could not help myself, unfortunately for her, than to say like, man, like, stop being so negative. Like, you need to see a positive in this. Like, you know, like, I understand this is how you're feeling, but you need to find a silver lining. You need to understand that this isn't just dark clouds. Like, there is some light. You just, you need to allow yourself a positive mindset. She hung up on me, you know, like any sister who is upset and just wanted to be consoled would. But at that moment, I wasn't trying to console her heart. I was trying to console her energy. You know, I wanted her to understand at that moment, like, your body, your aura does not need to be black or gray. You need to allow light. You need to allow cleansing and allow that positive. And I know it sounds super silly, but you need to allow that energy to come through to allow yourself a better thought process.
It's not silly. Because at the end of the day, like, just taking a break from whatever situation is causing you this stress or this grief or this anxiety, taking a moment to have a few deep breaths if you don't want to meditate. If you are about meditating, meditation heals. That's why you
Mm-hmm.
hear so many people talking about it. It's not, hippie goop, it's a real thing. And
No,
so, like,
yes.
you were trying to just get her to come outside of herself, and when people have the power to do that, they find solutions to problems. They find um, better ways to cope with their emotions, because we don't always want to be dumped on by other people. And when you are going through your own journey and your own problems and your own stresses, and you're trying to get to your own state of mental peace, and you have people, coming and dumping on you, does that help you? No, it doesn't.
It's mentally exhausting.
It's
I
very exhausting.
I
So,
love the people who are close to my heart and near and dear to me, but at the same time, I've worked so hard to rebuild and self-heal that my energy is very important to me, you
mhm,
know? So if I feel bewildered by something or off in any way, like I am going to retreat because
yeah.
I've learned that my energy is very important to me, you
Yeah.
know?
You have to protect your peace because you are responsible for that. No one else is, right? No one's going to care what you're feeling inside. They just want to vent to you. They're just
Mhm.
coming to dump on you. They have problems of their own, and you've got to listen to them. No, you have to create healthy boundaries in your relationships. And it's important for you to know what you can take and what you can't take when you've reached your point of, like, okay, people, I love you. I'm tapped out. I need some me time. I need to go and get myself together so that I can be there for you. But right now, I can't take any more on. You owe it to yourself, to be responsible in that aspect, because what's going to happen if your sister's coming to you to vent, or she just needs someone to talk to, and then you blow up on her because she's dumping on you and you're not mentally or emotionally able to handle that at this moment, right? But how will she
Exactly.
know? You have to set those boundaries. Like, you have to be aware of your emotional and mental state, and just the environment that you're in, so that you can, either be there for others, or tell them, I can't right now. I can't do this right now.
So, you know what I always refer back to, and I feel, and this is why I feel like, and it's not that I'm trying to hype you up or whatever, but I give you so much praise for it because you entered, even though it was professionally and we
Mm-hmm.
got to know each other at that personal level,
Mm-hmm.
you entered my life in a moment where I was very unsure of myself, and you helped me. You remember I called you my free therapist,
Yeah.
because I was able to go to you, and yes, I would exhaust. I would I would dump my issues to you, but you were so strong. Like your whole, and I say aura again, and your whole energy was so positive that it never unbalanced you. You
Right.
know, you remember that you have. I'm sure you've seen that GIF of like Shaq going like, like
Yeah.
kicking things away. Like I feel
Yeah.
like that was you. Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna help you, but your drama ain't coming with you. Like
Yeah.
and the one thing that you helped me with personally was I'm gonna listen to your issues, but I'm gonna help you to help heal yourself,
Yeah.
and I guess in that time where my sister called me and I was giving her a little bit of tough love, I think about you and me,
Mhm.
and I think where it wasn't that you were doing it out of spite or disrespect, but you were helping me to be a stronger woman.
Yeah.
You were a woman supporting a woman
Mhm.
mentally,
Mhm.
and I guess that is what I've always taken with me. So at that moment, I wasn't trying to break her down. I wasn't trying to
Right.
say, hey, I'm not willing to listen to your problems. I want to listen to your problems, but I want you to, out of your three or one or, two to four problems, I want you to find one or two positives out of that,
Yeah.
so that way you can also understand this is not rock bottom. You have not hit your lowest. You merely found a chute than a ladder. You
Yeah,
know, you need to just climb your way back up.
exactly. Yeah,
And
that, you know what? I'm glad that, our interactions allowed you to take something that you can apply to yourself and to other people, because that's what it's
mhm,
all about, right? Like I was
yes.
taught that. I was taught that. And so I do, my husband always says, every problem has a solution.
Mhm.
And it's such a basic saying, right? But he says it so much that it's like become his phrase. Like I've heard that since I was a kid. Every problem has a solution. But the way he says it like so matter of factly, like there is no other way to interpret whatever situation that you're going through, but that every problem has a solution. So what does that mean? Like there is no choice but to push on, find a solution, and get back to feeling good, get back to feeling like yourself. And the fact of the matter is, sometimes we just need some help getting out of our own way. And if
Agreed.
you can be that for your sister, then hopefully she can be that for the next person. It's a learned habit, right? Like mindfulness and being aware of your energy, being aware of what you're putting on to someone else. Does it feel
Mhm.
good? Does it feel bad? Is it heavy? Like being aware of your energy and how it's making you feel before you go dump it on someone else, and just knowing like you knew whatever you had to come to me with, I could handle it. If you didn't think I could handle it, you wouldn't have come to me.
Mhm.
But I also had to do the work to make sure that I was mentally available to the people that I care about, the people around me, right? Like that's a job in itself. You work on it every day. Like every day I have to make sure that I'm setting up an environment for me to protect my peace,
Yep.
because I am the type of person that, I'm always going to be there for anyone. I don't
Same.
care. Like, girl, I have had grown men in the club crying. God is my witness, no lie, on multiple occasions, talking about some deep, why are we doing this? Like, I came to drink and dance. But you know what? This is happening for a reason,
I came
right?
to do
Like,
some hot girl shit.
yeah, right. But instead, we're over here. You're telling me about, some issues that you've got going on, and I'm here to listen, right? But at the end of the day, like even for someone like myself, that I feel complete when I can do that for someone. Like that makes me feel good. I take pride in being able to just shut up and listen to someone talk, and then hopefully help find a solution. But at the end of the day, it can get very draining and it can get very exhausting when everyone around you is dumping on you. It's like, who am I going to dump on, right? Like, who do I have? So
They.
for anyone in that situation, you have to be aware
Mhm.
of your energy and how you are feeling
Yep.
before you go dump on someone or you let someone come and dump on you. Because what's going to happen, a beautiful situation that could go very well may not go so well, just because we are not being responsible for our own energy.
Agreed. Agreed.
And it's hard.
It is
It's
hard.
necessary. It's so necessary. And it's really only hard in the beginning, I feel like. Once you get used to like being aware of how you feel and what's going on with you, and just having conversations, like I talk to myself all day every day.
Yeah.
Like I'm always checking in with myself. You know what I'm saying? And so that allows me to be able to be what everybody else needs me to be
No,
there for them.
exactly. When you give yourself those moments of self-care and self-re-healing and rejuvenating, those moments where I'm extremely burnt out, I've helped my friends, I've helped my family, not necessarily, physically, but like mentally, that's my family. um, when I've gotten to that point, I know I need to retreat my energy. I know I need to recharge. And I'm
Yes.
only glad that Chef and everybody in my village is able to help me when it comes to, bad girl jewelry. But I am able to re-heal and rest, and just get it back.
Yeah. And what you said is so important, recharging. Like, we cannot continue burning ourselves out. We
Mhm.
cannot continue running on E. Because honestly, Gabby, I feel like when you look around at the world and you see so many grumpy faces and you see so many disheveled and just angry people, they need to recharge.
Thank you.
They need to take a chill pill. They need to sit down. They need to get to know themselves. They need to fall in love with themselves. They've got so many issues that are being ignored and they're just pushing on, and they need to recharge. Like, we have got to connect with ourselves, because like I said, like, you're responsible for the energy that you're putting out into the world. Like, and we have to heal ourselves. We
It
have to
is so
heal.
glad. I'm so glad you said it like that because, me naturally, I'm a helper. I want to heal people. I want to help in any way, shape, or form that I possibly can. But the one thing I've had to learn while fixing myself and wanting to help others is that you can help them, but you can't heal them.
Yes.
You know, the personal responsibility, that accountability is required in your own healing.
100%. Oh my goodness. I cannot tell you how frustrating it is for me. I hate it about myself. I'm still trying to get over it. I'm the type of person that is like, if I see someone, I see their potential and I know what they're capable of and I know what they can do if only they did this, or if only they thought like this. And it ends up, I end up just pouring into them, and they have no desire to change. They have no desire to do better, to be better, and I am only hurting myself.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the people around me that have to listen to me, go on and complain and just be so frustrated about whoever I'm pouring into, that just simply they're not there. Like you said, like, they do not have
Yeah.
what it takes to do better. Like, you cannot force anything on
No.
any ever at all. You
And
can
it's
only inspire or aid in helping someone that is ready.
exactly. And I've had to allow myself to remove that toxicity before. I've
Mhm.
had to tell myself, you know, this isn't what you need.
Yeah.
This isn't for you. Don't think this is something you did, but this isn't what your energy needs. This isn't what you need at this moment. You need to make an exit.
Mm-hmm.
There is, especially with COVID, there were several people who I fell out of touch with, not necessarily because of one thing or another, but because I could not give more of my energy to them because I had no more to give.
Yeah.
And I realized, I was like, you know what? I need to retreat.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did.
Mm-hmm. You
But
have to take a you time out.
a
A
me
me
time out,
time
exactly.
out.
But those are needed every
They
now
are.
and then.
They are literally a necessary part of life, and right now more than ever. Like, we are literally in living in a life that we could have never predicted for ourselves. 20
Exactly.
2019, we didn't see that coming. We
Nope.
had no idea. The beginning of 2020, we had no idea, right? So
Mm-hmm.
when you get thrown things, you have to be able to adapt, you have to be able to adjust. And that's where, being aware of how you're feeling and just your energy, and did you used to be a very happy person and now you're walking around like, is your cup half empty or half full, right? Like,
Exactly. It's all about the mindset and
yeah.
I choose, this glass could be technically half empty, sure. But I'm going to see it as half full
Exactly.
because it's how you view things. It's how you
Exactly.
choose to. You can either say that this is half empty and you're almost done and you're not going to have any more, or no, I still have half of it left. I'm good.
Yeah. Right, because either way you're right, right? Like, no matter how
Exactly.
you choose to see it, you're right, because that's how you're seeing it. No one's going to tell you that you're wrong. You're seeing it half empty or half full, and you're absolutely right either way. But how does that make you feel? How
Thank
does it make you
you.
feel? That's what it comes down to, is like, the choices that we make, the mindsets that we choose to live in. Great. How do you feel?
Yeah.
Are you happy? Are the people around you happy? Do they love you? Like, do you love yourself? right? Like, come on.
Have you ever been in a moment where you found yourself being on like the disrespectful end, like you didn't catch yourself hurting somebody?
Oh God, yes. Girl, you know me.
I do.
I know that I come off very blunt. I'm very brutally honest. I know that I want to talk to people how I want to talk to people, right?
Yes.
But that is wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Because at the end of the day, it shouldn't be. In a
no.
perfect world, I would be able to say whatever I wanted to say to someone and they could take it how they could take it. But if you want to have good, healthy, functioning relationships,
You got to be able to speak the truth.
you do. You have to be able to speak the truth, but you have to know your audience. So we all have different levels of sensitivity. We all have had different life experiences. So why should I expect every person in my life to be able to take one statement the same way? You know what I'm saying? And so I've had to learn how to, which is incredibly hard for me actually, to soften, choose my words differently, depending on who they are going to. And so, yes, I have definitely found myself in situations where the people that I love, I have hurt accidentally, completely unintentionally. And when they tell me these things, it literally breaks my heart because it's not my intention to ever make anyone feel less than amazing, right? But sometimes I might say something with a dagger instead of, that soft cushion that that person might have needed to get the message that I'm trying to give to them. And so I'm working on it. I'm working on it. It's hard. It's so hard. I'm literally I struggle with that because in my mind, I respect real honesty. Like,
Same.
I don't want anyone to lie to me. I don't like sugarcoating. If I ask you a question, me personally speaking for myself only, if I ask you a question, it's because mentally I'm already ready for whatever your answer is. I'm not going to ask you something that I'm not mentally ready to handle, right? I'm not going to go ask Chuck, are you cheating on me?
Yeah.
If I'm not ready for him to say yes. You know
No.
what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I just expect everyone else to be like that so that I could just say, you know what? You aren't blah 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 blah. Or whatever it is that I want to say. And in reality, a lot of people are not like that. They like to think they can handle the truth until it is brought to their attention and it hurts. Sometimes the truth does hurt. So
That's something Chef and I had to learn. We had to learn how to talk to each other,
yeah.
especially when working through things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's funny to say, but you would think that the hardest energy and vibe to read would be other people. No, it's your partner,
Mm-hmm.
because that is the person you ultimately want to spend the rest of your life with or are going to spend the rest of your life with. And if you cannot read that vibe or that energy at one moment when it's really needed, like it can present a heap of issues,
Oh yeah.
you
100%.
know, and that's where we've had to learn each other and understand. And it's like I tell him sometimes, you just have to read the room, like read my face, like I'm
Yeah.
so honest with you that everything is going to show on here,
Oh yeah.
you know.
Man, hubby knows when he walks in that room, okay? When
Yeah.
the air is feeling so thick, he done did something wrong. Because
Mm-hmm.
when he walks in that room and he's done everything right, the air is feeling different, right? Like he
Yes,
knows.
exactly.
They know. They
They
choose not
know.
to know,
They
but
just being
they,
silly, they
they
being
choose.
childish.
Yeah, they choose to not be aware of the environment and the things. But you're right, like when you're dealing with lifelong relationships or relationships that you hope to have, that sort of outcome, you have to be able to, like, those are your most challenging relationships because they force you to really take a good look at yourself, because you're so busy pointing fingers at the other person, right? But
Exactly.
none of us are without flaws. None of us are perfect, nor will we ever be. So those type of relationships, or really good friendships, they really force you to get uncomfortable, to be the best person that you can be for yourself and for them.
I call Chef my mirror because as much as I want him to be a better version of him for himself, he only does the same and reciprocates the same energy to me. So I've always now we have this way of being with each other, you know, especially working through as many issues as we have. We're coming up on 3 years together, you know, and that in its own self, trying to battle the COVID era was just a lot. And I'm glad that we're able to be where we're at now. But there were there were moments where it's like we both have to work at this. We both have to try. We both have to give and take. There is moments of sacrifice, and being able to read each other and understand each other to become stronger in the end.
Exactly, 100%. And it takes a lot of work, takes a lot
Oh
of
my God, like
emotional
you wouldn't
moments.
believe.
A lot of emotional moments, asking yourself, what am I doing? Is it worth it? Why am I doing this? Yes, it's
There was
worth
a
it.
ton of emotional ass kicks,
Yes.
trust.
Yes, and the answer is yes. It is always worth it, because not for your situation, but for anyone that might be listening, sometimes you might be, forced to look at yourself while you're in a relationship with someone, and that might not be your forever person. But that
Yep.
does not mean that lesson that you're learning with them is invalid and not
Thank you.
necessary for you to be learning in that moment.
Everything is a learning lesson. It's just up to
Exactly.
you, the energy you choose to take and have associated with it. I
Exactly.
turn even though there might be a lot of negative factors within an experience, it's all a positive experience because you know what? It takes me to where I am today, and it makes me
100%.
that much of a better person.
100%. 100%. I couldn't agree more. We are all capable of cultivating the life that we want and living in the state of whatever it is that you desire. Like, that falls on us. It's not impossible. I can truly say, when I look around, I enjoy my peaceful life that I have worked very hard to cultivate. It was not always like this. And as I've gotten older, I value, peace and quiet. My
Yep.
recharge time, I take it very seriously. Like, I am a social person
Mm-hmm.
to an extent, but I always feel so drained after social interactions. Um, Normally, probably because they're always so deep. Like, they're very rarely so just frivolous or, super casual. Like, there's always something to get into. And so I walk away from those moments, and I feel so just like tired, exhausted. Like, I can't wait to get home, my happy place, and recharge and
Yeah.
get ready for the next day. Like, we have to do the work, to cultivate the life that we want. And that all goes into very aware of how we're feeling and what is going on inside of us.
I don't think there is any better way to agree. And I think with that, I also don't think there's a better way to close out the segment, man.
Yeah.
I think that we were able to touch on it, and I only hope that the listeners, you know, take a little bit of our experience and our knowledge at least with it and understand that we only want what's best for people, and we want people
Mhm.
to also want what's best for themselves.
Absolutely.
Miss Star,
100%.
Miss Star, do you have anything to leave the viewers with this evening?
Yeah, sure. I
Today?
know adulting is hard. Life is hard. Sometimes we get dealt some very hard hands. And at the end of the day, we can do it. Like there's nothing that we can't get through. There's nothing that is too great of a challenge for us. But I just challenge anyone that's listening to make sure you check in with yourself.
Yeah.
Every day, multiple times a day, and just try to be aware of your energy, how you are feeling, and what you're projecting on to the world around you. That's walking down the street, that's at work, that's in your relationships. Like what is the vibe that you give off to people? How do people perceive you? And I know a lot of people might think I don't care, but you should, because we're all in this together, right? So we can't do it without each other.
Exactly. I feel if everybody were just to understand that maybe we didn't need to be as selfish as sometimes we don't really realize that we are sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
the world would be a little bit better of a place.
I agree. I agree. Don't give
Star,
up hope.
Star, I could not have thanked you enough for coming on today and just
Thank
sharing
you for
a
having me.
huge bit of your wisdom. I look forward to having you again, and
Yes.
definitely look out for your snail mail because you know me, extra AF.
I'm excited.
And for the viewers, if you are interested in wanting to be a guest, feel free to email me at Gabby, Gabby, at shitmyroommatesays.com. We are also discoverable and live now through our website, www.shitmyroommatesays.com. If you are interested in wanting to listen to us, we are streaming now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, Stitcher, TuneIn, you name it, we're probably on it. Currently waiting for iHeartRadio and Pandora. Hopefully, keep your fingers crossed. Miss Star, it was wonderful having you. You are such a strong just vibe in your own, queen. And
Thank you.
thank you for coming on today. I hope to have you soon. And thank you for being such a big supporter. And you have a
Yes.
wonderful evening, ma'am.
True love.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, if you enjoyed today's topic and guest, just stay tuned and subscribe.